I am about to receive a challenge for a Best Ball Mania draft. I have asked my producer Buck to give me something difficult to attempt in a draft. I have not watched this video ahead of time. I have no idea what is about to come. I have no idea how difficult it is. I have no opportunity to go back and say no. No, we are doing this live. So without further ado, let's pull this up here. We got freeze framed Buck, and let's find out what my challenge is.
I'm a producer and an editor, and I work with Pete on these videos, but most importantly, I'm an $8,300 player in the Overzet contest. Due to my lack of celebrity, this is clearly a price solely based on merit, unlike Davis Maddock. All right, Pete, he asked me to put some challenges together.
I am pausing this just real quick to be like, can we edit him talking about his salary in post? Anyways, continue.
Hope you're ready. Challenge number 1. You shared with me the first page of your highest Best Ball Mania exposures. Do not take any of the players on that list in this draft. No Drake London, Bowers, no Worthy, no DJ Giddens, none of your comfy clicks. Challenge number 2. I didn't see a single Tampa Bay player on your highest exposure list. So now you have to draft 3 Tampa Bay players before their ADP. You got to reach to make up for the disrespect. Challenge number 3. Through 10 rounds, your team has to be 0-5-5-0. That's no onesie positions until round 11. Challenge number 4. The finished build has to be 3-5-7-3. I hope you weren't planning on taking Baker as one of your 3 Buccaneers. 3-5-7-3. 5 running backs through round 10. I do stuff like this all the time. My teams are fantastic. You're an $8,500 player. I think you'll be okay.
All right. Unreal. Unreal. I'm literally having to write these down to remember them right now, but let's hop in a draft, and I am going to get my bearings here very quickly. We'll get in this draft. So if I recall correctly, this is none of my highest exposure players. I sent this screenshot here. We'll pull it up on the screen as well so you guys can see this. It includes Drake London, Jawan Jennings, Tet McMillan, Jaden Blue, Bryce Young, Chase Brown, Cam Scatabo, Khalil Shakur, Marshawn Lloyd, Tajay Spears, Brock Purdy, Brock Bowers, CeeDee Lamb, Calvin Ridley, Jalen Knoll, and Xavier Worthy. Those are all guys over 18%, and now I cannot take any of them. So I'm going to keep this up on the screen so I don't forget it. The second spot was I need to take 3 Tampa Bay Bucks ahead of ADP. Okay. And then I can't take any onesie positions through 10 rounds. So it's a 5-5. And so then I'm finishing with 3 quarterbacks and 3 tight ends. And I can still include 2 wide receivers in there. So I have to have all 5 of my running backs before the 10th round as well. I believe if I hear that, yeah, if I have to start 0-5-5-0, I have to have 5 running backs before round 10. Okay. This is going to be very difficult. Man, you are sick, Buck. You are sick. This draft is filled, and we are picking at the turn. Okay. So there's going to be a few things I am going to do here to ensure that I do not mess this up. The first is I can't take a quarterback or tight end in the first 10 rounds. So I'm just going to toggle over to running back and wide receiver here. The second thing is I need to be aware of the early round guys who are on my list. Can't take Brock Bowers, can't take CeeDee Lamb. That shouldn't be an issue from this draft slot. So I think I'm okay at the 1-2 turn. Brock Bowers is really the one that would otherwise be here that I would maybe entertain. The other thing I should do here at the start is I should star my Tampa Bay players. So Bucky, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Egbuka. I can't take Baker Mayfield because he's within inside the top 10 rounds. I would need him to slide to the 11th round. Rashad White, Cade Otton, Jalen McMillan. Pick 34. I should be able to, man, there's a chance I could maybe get Mike Evans. Oh, I have to take them ahead of ADP. Okay, so this spot makes it impossible to get Evans. Man, this challenge sucks. Specifically getting the turn, that makes, I might have to reach for Bucky Irving here at the top, honestly. I mean, I can reach ahead on these other guys too, but maybe pulling Bucky up to this turn isn't the worst idea. I'm not going to be able to get Evans ahead of ADP. I could get Godwin ahead of ADP. I could get Egbuka. So I don't think I need to pull. I don't think I need to pull up Bucky here. Let's do Nico. And because I need to get to 5 running backs You know what we will do? Just fuck it. You're going to make me reach for Bucks players. You know, it's basically Achane is the next guy. Let's just pull Bucky up here. Let's just do it. You want me to reach for You want me to reach for Tampa Bay Bucks? Are you happy, Buck? There you go. Bucky Irving at the 1-2 turn. Because I was like, who's the next running back I'm going to take? Achane? I mean, I view Achane and Bucky fairly similarly. Yes, Achane probably projects maybe a little bit better from a volume standpoint, but I still think the overall offensive environment should be better for the Bucs. So there we go. We have at least reached for one Buck, and we are on target here as far as only running backs or wide receivers. The way this challenge is structured in needing to have the 5 through round 10, I want to make sure that I'm not in any spots where I'm like having to take really gross running back selections because I have to catch up. I basically have to be averaging a running back every turn, right? You know, 1-2 turn, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to try to stay on pace. That way I don't have to do anything too egregious. It is very funny to see in this room, considering I was debating taking Achane. Achane goes right after me to the Genty draft, or Derrick Henry comes off the board. I could have done JT. Any of the running backs I was going to take, though, were going to be a second-round running back I'm pulling up here. So I figure might as well help myself out with this challenge. And if we're getting any additional benefit, it's probably the fact that there's not a ton of Nico Collins, Bucky Irving teams, just based on their ADPs. The next thing I need to start thinking about here are what are players I would perhaps generally take at the 3-4 turn that are on my list. Obviously can't take Tet. He's my 3rd highest drafted. There's no one else. Xavier Worthy. So Tet and Xavier Worthy are the 2 that I can't take here. And I can't take Mike Evans either, because Mike Evans would be after ADP. So we can remove Mike Evans from the queue. We will mentally remove Tet and Xavier Worthy. We know we can't do any quarterbacks and tight ends. And we know ideally we are taking one running back here. So that really starts to narrow down the pool. In thinking through kind of the sweet spots of the draft board, I guess the 5-6 turn actually has a decent amount of options of both running backs and tight ends. I can often get Trevion Henderson there, who I like. But it looks like I might, man, I can't take quarterback either. Okay. We could potentially do Bric and Omarion Hampton. I can't take Tet. I can't take Worthy. The question is, do I want to go double running back here? Let's do Bric. I say we do Bric, and wait, is Omarion Hampton on my list? No, he's not one of my most drafted. This will be scary, but let's do Bric and Omarion Hampton. This way we need only 2 more running backs. We're setting up kind of a hyper fragile build. This is going to be a lot of draft capital to spend on running backs. So I already am wondering if that was a tactical mistake. Just thinking through, knowing I have to get to 5 through 10, I now ideally want my other 2 running backs to be in rounds 9 and 10. Not ideal. I kind of wish I would have done, say, DJ Moore there instead of Omarion Hampton. I think that would have given me just a little bit more flexibility as far as draft capital. So that's a little unfortunate. The hope here is I pick at 61, so I should be able to get Chris Godwin right ahead of ADP. We start Nico Collins, Bucky Irving, Breece Hall, Omarion Hampton. I regret the Omarion Hampton. I think I should have pulled the trigger on a Calvin Ridley, DJ Moore, whoever I wanted. Because now ideally, I'm going wide receiver in rounds 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now also we have to start thinking about the quarterback angle. We're getting to 3 quarterbacks. I obviously still care about stacking. Nico Collins, CJ Stroud, that should line up potentially well. That's the other thing about taking the Bucs as pass catchers is I can't take Baker Mayfield. So I need to think, I think very intentionally about which pass catchers I'm selecting to make sure I have outs for a stack. This is already getting more and more convoluted the more I think about it. So let me go back to running back, wide receiver. I do think ideally Godwin is one of these picks. I need a wide receiver. I need a Buck player ahead of ADP. Godwin makes too much sense here. And I'm not taking running back, so I'm going to go off of wide receiver. I can't take Jawan Jennings. Addison would be a nice pick for me because JJ McCarthy would fall in that sweet spot of where I would be taking quarterback. Okay, perfect. So Jawan Jennings goes. I think Godwin here is a smash. I'm taking him ahead of ADP. It's my 2nd Buck. Cha-ching. And I think Jordan Addison is really nice. Him or Olave give me a lot of flexibility, but let's do Addison. We can set up something with JJ McCarthy. I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable after the snafu with the Omarion Hampton pick. So we're up to 3 wide receivers, 3 running backs. So we need 2 more wide receivers and 2 more running backs through 10. And just because I spent 3 early picks on running backs, I really want those next wide receivers, or sorry, next running backs to be in rounds 9 and 10. I'm going to go ahead and also star my quarterbacks here because I don't want to forget as I'm thinking through other challenge dynamics. Oh, and I was talking about Calvin Ridley before. Calvin Ridley's on my most drafted. So there you go. Scratch that off. See, I'm going to have to be very careful in some of these rounds to make sure that I am not messing this up. The other thing about $3 without Baker, I don't want to handcuff this backfield, you know, with Rashad and Bucky. Any other pass catcher I add is not going to feel good. Maybe it is like a last round Sean Tucker or something. No, I'm going to be done with running back. God damn it. This challenge is putting my head in a blender. I can't even, I have to take out Rachaad White. He's not even an option. Cade Otton is probably the best bet. Cade Otton ahead of ADP. Man, this is putting my head in a blender. Congratulations, Buck. I didn't think you had it in you. The wide receivers that are my most drafted, almost all of them are already off the board, so I'm good in that regard. Drake London, Juwan Jennings, Tet, Khalil Shakur, CeeDee Lamb, Calvin Ridley, Xavier Worthy. The only other remaining wide receiver that I can't take is Jalen Knoll. The running backs I can't take. Chase Brown's already off the board. I can't take Cam Scatterbo. I can't take Jaden Blue. Can't take Marshawn Lloyd. I can't take Tajay Spears. So this is, I think we're set up okay here. I really want to get 2 wide receivers here. We could do Igbuka and then just be done with the Bucks portion of the challenge. That is a potential. And I don't want Caleb Johnson or DeAndre Swift. I think this works out well for the wide receivers to get my 5 here. And the Igbuka is really the thing I'm just thinking through. So I'm on the clock here. I also want quarterback outs. I'm going to select Josh Downs first. Josh Downs gives me a late quarterback ad. Either Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones should be there. I wondered if do I pass on Igbuka to give myself another quarterback out? I could set up the double stack, but I do think with this challenge, I'm torn. Who else is the next guy? Is Darnell Mooney? Let's do Darnell Mooney. Darnell Mooney, I think, qualifies. Have not taken him. He's nowhere close to my most top drafted. He gives me the Michael Penix out at quarterback. I think I'm setting myself up for max success in this mid round. I'm giving myself Anthony Richardson. I'm giving myself Daniel Jones. I've now given myself a variety of quarterbacks who I can take late in a 3 quarterback build. We'll organize this queue accordingly. Now, because I'm not going to get Igbuka, it means I have to get one of Jalen McMillan or Cade Otton. And ideally, I think Cade Otton is the screaming target because we have to get to 3 tight ends no matter what. And I can only get to 7 wide receivers. So I'm at 5. So I think Cade Otton has to be a priority. We have to take him ahead of ADP. His ADP is 182. Our pick in this range would be 183. Yeah, so we have pick 180 and 181. So that will be the target for Cade Otton. So I know I'm picking 2 running backs at this next turn. The running backs I can't take, Cam Scatterbo. I cannot click Cam Scatterbo. He probably won't be here anyway, so that's not an issue. I can't take Jaden Blue. And then Marshawn Lloyd and Tajay Spears are later. And then I am going to click off the running back tab because I will be done with running back. I think we've emerged from the hardest part of this challenge. Is this the Matt Waldman in my draft? Waldman, 5 running backs through 5 rounds. Is he doing the same challenge as me? I love that Cam Scatterbo is falling in this draft too. The one time I can't take him, he's falling. Someone take Cam Scatterbo. In my head, I had kind of earmarked Charbonnet and Tootin. I should check buy stuff. I have 2 week 9 buys at 12. Is this the opportunity that I use to get Tyrone Tracy? Where it's like, hey, I always take Scatterbo, and this time I can't take Scatterbo. All right, we'll take Tyrone Tracy. Let's see. Do we have any correlation here that I want to do between Charbonnet and Tootin? If we're going to do this, let's do the max upside swing and take Tootin. Okay, this was, for a second, I was scared that Tootin was on my most drafted list. I almost had a heart attack. The exposures that I sent Buck were exclusively for Best Ball Mania, and he is not on here. Thank God. I would be very tilted if I messed up this challenge. But I believe in my overall exposures, he's one of my most drafted, but not in BBM. Whew. Okay, so here we go. We've emerged through the first 10 rounds. I was told I had to start with a 0-5-5-0 build. We have no tight ends. We have no quarterbacks. We have 5 running backs: Bucky Irving, Breece Hall, Omarion Hampton, Tyrone Tracy, and Tootin. We are done with running backs. We also have 5 wide receivers: Nico Collins, Chris Godwin, Jordan Addison, Josh Downs, and Darnell Mooney. So now I am going to filter to quarterbacks, wide receivers, and tight ends. We have 2 more slots for wide receivers and then 3 for quarterback and 3 for tight end. I'm feeling decent about quarterback. The next spot that I am going to pick is going to be 132 and 133. Ideally, I'm able to just grab CJ Stroud and McCarthy there. That would be pretty nice, I think. The nice thing about taking Stroud too is then Dalton Schultz becomes a stacking partner late. Some people hate Dalton Schultz. Someone also accuses me of having like Dalton Schultz on every team. Do you see him on one of these top exposures? No, I take him sparingly with CJ Stroud. And now I'm getting out in front of it because this might be a Dalton Schultz team. The tight end part of this is the easiest part because there are tight ends that I can take in every round. CJ Stroud goes at 123. That is not ideal. There's pivots here though. We could do something with a Michael Penix and Kyle Pitts, although that might not work out ADP wise. See, picking on the turn has proven to be very difficult. Who took CJ Stroud here? The Jaden Higgins drafter? Okay. We could also take Justin Herbert with Omarion Hampton. There's ways we could backstack that. I actually don't mind that. I want to be open to this. I also need to look and make sure. So the only quarterbacks and tight ends that I can't take who are on my most drafted are Bryce Young, Brock Purdy, and Brock Bowers. The Brocks are gone, and I'm not going to take Bryce Young on this team anyways. I would like to get some tight end upside though as well. Okay, Herbert falls. Quentin Johnston might be there later. I think Herbert at this value paired with Omarion Hampton makes sense. Let's do Herbert. I still want to have some quarterback upside. I don't want to fully punt this. Let's do Herbert and McCarthy here. The only question is, would we grab a tight end? But I think I still want to go later tight end. This allows me to capture kind of the value part of the draft board, being these quarterbacks. I take JJ McCarthy slightly ahead of ADP, Herbert behind ADP. I think you could have made a good argument to take one of Goddard, Ferguson, or Kincaid here, and then Kyle Pitts goes at 134. Okay, so the Michael Penix thing we might be done with. I actually think Quentin Johnston would be a very nice pick for this team just because we do need another wide receiver and Justin Herbert. Penix is probably now not the way to play this at quarterback. I think it's just getting one of Richardson or Daniel Jones is probably the smart move. And we also need to leave a spot open for Cade Otton. Like, Cade Otton is a priority. If I don't get one of Jalen McMillan or Cade Otton, I'm in a lot of trouble because I need a third buck and I can't take Rashard White. I'm having to take Tez Johnson or Trey Palmer. That would be bad. I have to get Cade Otton or Jalen McMillan. And I think I would prefer for it to be Cade Otton, considering I still need to get 3 tight ends. So the only other wide receiver who's on my most drafted that I can't take is Jalen Noel. Which would have been like unfortunate if I had CJ Stroud and I got him at a value, but I don't have CJ Stroud. This will be a little bit of a sweat. I can't believe I'm saying this. I would like to get Quentin Johnston on this team. It'd be past ADP, stacked up with Justin Herbert. Goddard goes. I think Brenton Strange makes sense. Likely would be decent here. Henry goes. Can I get Quentin Johnston through here? Okay, awesome. All right, we're taking Quentin Johnston. We get that double stack with Herbert. I want to take I think we go likely. For a quick second there, I thought, should I just take Cade Otton? Should I just take Cade Otton and not mess around? Because I'm going to be in a world of hurt if I don't get Cade Otton. I'm going to be in a world of hurt. I'm almost regretting just not reaching for Cade Otton there because I only have one more wide receiver spot left. And I don't think this room is strong enough to do Tez Johnson or Trey Palmer. Oh, no. Who's the backup tight end? I honestly think it would maybe be Devin Culp. I think that would be my break glass in case of emergency. Even that as my third tight end sounds awful. I really hope I did not make a tactical mistake by not just locking up Cade Otton there. Only time will tell. Only time will tell, but I'm pretty scared. Fuck. God damn it. Who's taking Cade Otton 10 picks ahead of ADP? This team... I think I have to take Call me Trey Palmer because I just woke up pissed off. I think I have to take one of Trey Palmer or Tez Johnson, who's like 4'11" and weighs 125 pounds. God damn it. I knew I should have just taken Cade Otton there. I knew it. Unreal. Unfreaking real. Oh, and look who's still staring me in the face. Dalton Schultz. Dalton fucking Schultz. Anthony Richardson goes. Great. Great. Let's do Mason Taylor. Let's get another tight end here. We have Breece Hall, so we get a second jet on this team. So now I need one quarterback, one wide receiver, and one tight end. I can't take... Do we take Daniel Jones or a third tight end here first? I'm just going to take Daniel Jones. I'm just taking Daniel Jones. I learned my lesson with Cade Otton. I learned my lesson. So we're going to finish with one of these Bucks wide receivers and then one tight end. I was so close, I think, to really nailing this challenge. I can't believe I'm going to have to select. Who do I select? Trey Palmer or Tez Johnson? Unreal. Like, these guys are just... You want to talk about straight zero risk. I mean, these guys need 3 injuries ahead of them to be relevant. How did I put myself in this spot? And I can't even take Sean Tucker. I would just take Sean Tucker if the goddamn challenge didn't force me to take 5 running backs through 10 rounds. So who's the third tight end that makes sense on this team? I guess I could still... Is it better to just punt it off with fucking Devin Culp? Is that the way I should do it? I need to see if there's any good propaganda about Devin Culp. Is anyone talking about Devin Culp? Bucks Baker Mayfield, under the radar weapon, poised for year 2 jump. This might be all I need. Tampa Bay Buccaneers tight end. Get out of here with this ad blocker shit. I think Culp might be the better way to play this. I honestly do. Liam Cohen explains why Devin Culp is finally making an impact. Well, that was from the playoffs. Let's see, is there anything on Twitter these days about Devin Culp? Talked about Payne Durham and Devin Culp stepping in and Cade Otton from 2021. Man, I honestly think I just can't decide. Would I rather punt it off with my tight end 3 or my wide receiver 3? Which one would I more rather punt it off with? I think Conklin as our third tight end makes a decent amount of sense. But is this wide receiver room strong enough? If it's not, who is the wide? See, all of these wide receivers are such flyers anyways. I am so mad. I think we take Tyler Conklin. I think Devin Culp. I can't be associated with having clicked Devin Culp. I think I just take Trey Palmer. I take Trey Palmer. I woke up pissed off like Trey Palmer. Trey Palmer as your wide receiver 7. Ahead of ADP. Check it off. I completed the goddamn challenge. I completed it. Here's the team. Justin Herbert, J.J. McCarthy, Daniel Jones at quarterback, Bucky Irving, Breece Hall, Omarion Hampton, Tyrone Tracy, Bashal Tutin, Nico Collins, Chris Godwin, Jordan Addison, Josh Downs, Darnell Mooney, Quentin Johnston, Trey Palmer. Tight end, Isaiah Likely, Mason Taylor, Tyler Conklin. I hope you're happy, Buck. I hope you're fucking happy. Subscribe to the channel for more.